Hey guys, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video, which is going to be a Bicester Village tips and tricks video. Now, I have done one of these in the past, but I did come up, I don't know if I've came up with some more, but there's some stuff I want to tell you, updated kind of things. So, if you are new here though, hi, welcome, my name is Matt, welcome to my channel. I do Bicester Village hauls and come shop with me's, and then a haul if I buy anything at least once a month on this channel. I only live down the road and I am, I wouldn't say a Bicester Village connoisseur, but I have been going to Bicester Village my entire life. I live fairly decently close to it, and like my mum took me when I was a kid to, like, we used to go, for example, just to go to Clark's for the sale before, like, buying shoes and stuff like that, because there's always been a Clark's there. And I think mum and dad, well, my mum anyway, went when it was a lot smaller. It has expanded a lot over the years, but yeah, so if you're not already, please take a moment to subscribe to see the Bicester Village content on this channel. It's free, there's no cost to you for doing so. Just click that button down below and ring my bell to be notified of when I upload. But as I said, we're going to go through some Bicester Village tips and tricks, which I have got on my iPad here because I'm filming on my phone, and I'm going to overlay with some like details and stuff. I went to Bicester Village today, and I was thinking about this literally when I was in prep. I was just thinking about this. First tip, and it has to be this, like, this is a big one. Either get there early or get there late. Now, I think early is better because, you know, the stock is all like fresh in terms of not picked through and things like that. But I have been after work as well. Sorry if you can hear a train. I have been after work in the evening, especially around this time of year, November, December, getting towards the Christmas period. They do extended opening hours, but in my opinion, if you're just going normally on a weekday, which I would suggest going on a weekday rather than the weekend because it can be insanely busy, get there early, and I mean get there at 9 o'clock. It opens at 9, that's when the stores open. I think Pret and things like that, you know, the cafes and things might open a bit before, or earlier than that. Don't quote me on what time they open, but the boutiques themselves will open at 9, and that is when you can start shopping. So I would suggest get there early. I have been in the evening after work, and it can be it's busier than the mornings, so I would recommend the morning as well. Part and parcel of that, I would suggest, if you're going by car, park at Ralph Lauren end, because one, you can start at that end and walk the way down. If you park in the middle, then you've got to like navigate which way you want to go and things like that when you get in the village. I used to park at the multi-storey end, which is a good place to park. They kind of don't want you to do that when it first opened. They kind of want you to fill up the open air car park first. So I would recommend parking Ralph Lauren end, which is where the valet is. You can do valet if you want, but you don't have to do valet to park at that end. So I'd recommend that, and it also means you can have a swift getaway when you're trying to leave, because there is its own little exit there, so you can kind of go out and get on your merry way once you have left. I would say, kind of on the get there early front, you can probably do the village in 2.5, 3 hours if you really know what you want to do, go in the shops, and you're not spending too much browsing time. So yeah, I would say that. I kind of left before 11 today, and the car park was full practically. People were leaving and stuff, but yeah, and I would say if you're going on a weekend, you really have to get there early because you will not get a space otherwise, and then they start doing park and ride. But at that point, if you don't like crowds and things, I would say avoid weekends. Like, just don't do it. I have tried in the past, and it's just like, even on a Sunday, I would say it's busier than early on a Sunday than it is on a weekday. It does open at 10 on a Sunday. And for some reason, if anyone knows, they can have extended opening hours, except if you're going on a Sunday and you're expecting all the shops to be open at 10, they won't be. The larger stores, I'm talking Burberry, Gucci, Prada, Dior, will open at 12, half 11 for browsing, and close at 6. I don't know why that is. I don't know why the other shops can open early and stay open later. I have no idea. But yeah, just to bear in mind that. And going on with that, talking about the big shops, I would say go there first, because they're going to be less busy and you're going to be able to get in, especially Gucci and Dior. They will have queues if you don't get there and do them soon as you can. Sometimes Gucci has a virtual queue and you can't physically see there's a queue, so you might think, oh okay, that's not got a queue, but there might be a virtual queue, because sometimes they do that. In the pandemic there was virtual queues for all the stores, and it was completely hectic doing that, and you had to like get a time, but they do sometimes occasionally do that when they don't want people lining up or the queue gets too long to line up. So the new Dior store, for example, which is now back where it was but a bit expanded, that does have like rope outside it all the time. I got in there, it was before 10, and there was no queue outside. I went in there and had a look, but be wary, you might have to queue for the larger stores, especially Gucci, Dior, Burberry and Prada. I would say the main culprits of queuing, and also Pandora does that as well, because that seems to be very popular. So yeah, I would say go to the big shops first. And when I have been in the evening during the, December time, they used to do, back in when I did that was during like 2020, 2021 time, to do some Christmas shopping. They had virtual queuing even up at that point, but that was back in the time when virtual queuing was the norm there. I haven't done a virtual queue. I would read more about it if you can, but my advice to you would be go there first to the big stores. And this kind of goes on to the next point, is have a game plan. So if you know you want to go into Dior and Gucci, you aim for that. You get there early and you aim to go there at that point. That is the first place you hit up. You hit up Gucci and then you hit up Dior. And word or warning, when you go in Gucci, there's now an entrance and an exit. So bear that in mind. It has expanded a little bit to have an entrance and an exit. So have a game plan. And I recommend, I would beeline, if you want to go in Dior, I'd beeline for that first, and then Gucci, or Gucci and then Dior, either or. And then I would aim for Prada and then Burberry, because Prada seems to be the next busiest after Gucci and Dior, and then Burberry is like the 4th busiest, I would say. So kind of hit those 4 in a big, first, then maybe have a prep break, and then do, the smaller shops. So have a game plan, but be open to that changing. So in terms of what you want to buy, have a game plan as well. But, be very flexible and open. If you're going for a certain thing, you might be disappointed, especially if it's a very specific certain thing. You might want to go and say, oh, I want some black boots. That's fine. There's plenty of options for that. But if you want to say, I want this from this specific shop, you probably more often than not are going to end up disappointed. You might not be. I have gone with that in mind before. Like, I wanted some white Ralph Lauren trainers. I got them. £35. I have not seen that since. That was, and I'll get onto this at another point in a minute. But yeah, have a game plan, but be open to it. Also, download the BICESTER Village app and sign up for the VIP program. It is free and you get extra perks. You collect points. It's basically like a loyalty card. It is a loyalty card. You collect points, and like on your birthday, I got 3 macarons from Ladurée, which have now moved. They are now Ted Baker and like, how do you say it? V. Clerco? Is that how you say it? I don't know. The champagne brand and Ladurée have like switched places. So Ladurée is now by Ted Baker and the champagne brand is now by All Saints, that end. Just a little tidbit. But, sign up for alerts, because I got 2 free macarons, and those macarons are like £2.50 each, so like a £5 for both of them. So, and you might get like a free coffee or something like that. And I'm only on level 1, and I'm not that far away from level 2, but yeah. And I would say scan it everywhere as well. Just say, can I scan this? And it also acts when it is a private sale. it also acts as your like ticket into that. So again, if you sign up for the VIP card, which is free, anyone can do, you'll get notified when the private sale is by email, which you might want to plan in for a trip. To do that, and it will show you on the app what brands are included in the private sale and the percentages off that they have. And you need the app to scan in order to participate. So for example, the last time I went to Bicester Village, Emma Bridgewater had 10% off mugs. And like, but where was it? Lululemon, if you spent 2 items, you got this percentage off, 3 items, this percentage. So it kind of works out in some stores. In some stores, it's like 20% off the whole store. Some stores you have to spend £100, £200, etc. to get money off. But if you are a VIP member and have downloaded the app, well, you don't have to have downloaded the app, but if you're a VIP member, you'll get alerts of when the private sale is, but you'll need to download the app. I would recommend downloading the app because you can see like what perks and stuff there are. You can see what is involved in private sales. You can do online, you can do shopping from home, virtual shopping, all that kind of thing. You have the map on there, so it's good to sign up that before you go. It's free, no cost to you, kind of thing. And also, if you are a blue light card holder, if you work in the emergency services or care sector or anything like that, I would also download that as well, because if there's not a private sale on, you can also get money off using that. On, I would say, private sale and like blue light card discount, which is about 10%, you get like a, what is it called, VIP card kind of thing. Virtual one, it's free to do. Well, it's not free to do, you have to pay for a blue light card, but you know, you get the reward of that. I recommend it if you're not going at private sale time. It's good for that if you are eligible for a blue light card. Yeah, and I would say if you find something that's discounted on top of the village price, it's not normally included in the promotion, so bear that in mind. I would also say if you go on bank holidays, there's also extra discounts. Now this kind of is counterproductive of what I said earlier about avoid weekends, but with bank holidays, because it opens at 9 on a bank holiday, or sometimes before Boxing Day, it opens at like 7 last year. I got there for 7 last year, and they have like some really, especially at Boxing Day, they have some really good discounts. And it's not like you have to be a member, you know, Bicester Village member to do that, but yeah, bank holidays are a good time to go because you sometimes get additional discounts, but it's all luck of the draw really. Sometimes it depends on the bank holiday as well. Like Boxing Day is obviously a traditionally a shopping thing, whereas like, I don't know, May Day, you might not. And as I said, Boxing Day opens at 7, so that is also something to factor in. I think on the like Boxing Day and the day after last year, or some parts of that week in between Christmas and New Year, it opened a bit earlier, which you might want to do, because when I did that last year, I did go at 7. It was very empty and you could get around at like home for breakfast at 9 for me, but that is where I live. So yes, and I also would say, last tip, for me anyway, because I'm not particularly a person who likes crowds and all of that. If you love crowds, go off, but like leave early. Like if you're going to get there at 9, you could probably leave by 12, unless you want to stay for lunch and stuff. But like unless you're going in every single shop, it doesn't take that long to go around, in my opinion. But you can be leisurely about it, and well, I would say on a weekday it's better to be leisurely, but like on a weekend, yeah, and like bank holidays, in my opinion, I would leave early. Like as I said today, I left before 11 and the car park at the Ralph Lauren end was predominantly full. So yeah, those are my tips and tricks for Bicester Village. As I said, I've been going since I was a child, really, and I've seen it evolve over the years to what it has become today. A lot of the stuff that's in there now is quite curated as well. Like they have a lot of stores that have a lot of new season stock in that is not outlet prices, so please be aware of that. Like there's Gucci stuff in there that is not discounted, you know, like that GG belt, they'll have it in there, but it's not an outlet price. I went in Marc Jacobs to look at the tote bag, not an outlet price. Even Reese, some of the stuff is not outlet prices, so you need to be aware of that as well when you're looking at things, because the stores have crept up doing that fairly recently. So I suppose that's kind of a tactic in a way. You've got a captive audience kind of thing because you're only really going there to Bicester Village. I would say the restaurant selection isn't great, although they have done a lot with kiosks and things like that, like Lingerie. They've got the Mayfair Chippy. Pret is obviously always a good option. You've got the Italian, which placed the Wolsey. You've got the Farm Shop, and you've got there's only 3 like really sit down restaurants, plus Pret and Itsu. Actually there's 4 because there's a pasta place at the end now, isn't there? At the Ralph Lauren end. So be wary of that. Across the road you do have a McDonald's, you have a Starbucks, you have a Burger King, and you have a Costa in next across the road as well, and there is a Tesco's across the road as well. So that is some information for you. And there's lots of little kiosks for small bits of food, I would say. I don't know why they never really replaced Carluccio's. They replaced it with the Chippy, Mayfair Chippy, which is a fish and chip shop, but not within a building. It's like a kiosk with seats outside. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, let me know down below, like, if you've got any thoughts to add, please put them in the comments below. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're not already, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.
No, man, I still go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day.